All right. It's like the most together I've ever been, and nobody's here. Oh, I see you over on Twitter. Hello. All right. Hello, hello. Hey. All right. 7 people on Twitter. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining. See, make sure I'm actually live everywhere I'm supposed to be. Hey, there we go. There we go. What's happening? Hey, Hassan. Don't worry, bud. I wouldn't jinx it like that. That's more of this is more of my this is more of my hook to see what's on my mind. Hello, 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 Icon. Hello, Princess Weiberg. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. All right, all right. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Okay, I think there's enough people watching now. We can go ahead and let me get into it. How's everybody doing tonight? I am Jason, and you are here live with Cryptosomniacs. Snay will be jumping on tomorrow, but I am back. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Friday, I said I thought Bitcoin was going to hit 10 grand over the weekend. It got pretty close at like 99 and worked off it and did not. Got rejected pretty hard, which I honestly thought would happen once it got to the 10K level, just because it is going to have that psychological resistance that people are keeping track of. You know, remember we blew past 10K back in December. It hit 10K and went right on to 20 in very short order. So there's not a lot of support for it. So I think it's still going to have that psychological level that makes people a little reluctant because they're not sure if it's going to go past 10K again. I think a lot of people have their target profit takes set there currently. So I suspect we will run into some resistance. But do I think it's going to crash? Well, that depends entirely upon some of the news that we've got coming out. Yes, ETH is doing good, and I guess we'll just go ahead and jump into that part. ETH has been doing good. You know, this is something I've been saying just subtly over the last while now, is that everybody was excited about Bitcoin taking off and running, but people weren't getting super gassed up on Ethereum, and I was wondering why, because honestly the difference would have been huge as far as what you would have gained from the beginning of the breakout and on up. So yeah, it was under. So here's what happened, guys. This is what it is. I don't know if you guys know or not, but there was supposedly, and I'll get into this a little bit more in just a second, but there was a supposedly an SEC hearing to determine whether or not Ethereum was to be retroactively considered a security or classified as a security, in which case everything that would have been launched on it would have also been considered a security. Could have caused some massive problems. People were pretty fearful of this, and obviously so, because you know, rightly so. If they were to deem that a security, that could cause some real problems for everything that's built on that Ethereum blockchain, which is many coins right now. So obviously a lot of reason for concern there, but it turns out that it was all shenanigans. Basically, yeah, here, let's look over at it. So there was supposed to be a hearing at some point today, and it turns out, if you do a little digging and do a little research into it, that there never was a hearing scheduled for today relating to cryptocurrency, specifically relating to Ethereum at all. And so it seems like it was just a well-coordinated FUD attack, and I think the price action, shows it. So let's go ahead and jump over here and take a look, because Ethereum is doing well. Oh, come on. There we go. And Coinbase. There we go. Sorry, guys. I need to seriously clear up some of my my overalls here, and I'm going to do this on USD first. Yeah, fake news, exactly. I'm going to do this on USD first, and then we'll take a look at it versus BTC. But I am an American, and unfortunately right now I am still considering a lot of my values since I trade a lot in and out of fiat against my fiat currency here in the United States. So let's just jump in and take a look at this. I want to put this on hourly candles so you can really get an idea or a clear picture of what I am trying to illustrate here. Let me squish this down a little bit so that volume isn't... In fact, can I make this volume a little bit more transparent? Can I? No, doesn't look like it. All right, well, anyway. So here's what I'm trying to show you. 5.6, the price has been, you know, fairly stable over the weekend. I think everybody knew on Sunday that the hearing was coming up today, and so you saw a little bit of price action. I actually thought, you know, this is a bearish pennant right here, but I was starting to see a rising triangle. I thought this might break out here, but then what happened was what if you're really paying attention to what people's mental patterns are doing here is probably what should have happened, just given what people are thinking. So everybody's fearful of the SEC hearing, and they, you know, set their stop losses and set some sell orders. Maybe had to take some profit because ETH has been on a pretty good run up. And here, right at, let's see, where are we at? 5.7. Yeah, 5.6. Look at this, 5.6. Here, just to show what I'm highlighting here, guys. Here's my time frame down here at the bottom. All right, so look at that, 5.6. Oops, we had some pretty good indecision here, and then as soon as it turned 5.7, boom, massive price drop. It looks like there were some bulls still trying to make sure the price didn't go to hell in a handbasket, but unfortunately that was not to be sustained, and by 2 a.m. Pacific time, look at that, huge dip off. So I think, let's see, what is that? Yeah, so that's 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and then look at that, right about 7 a.m. when people determined that the SEC hearing was in fact not real. Look at what happened to the price action, guys. So again, I think this is just the market reaction to a little bit of a retrace after it being down so low. But I suspect we're going to see the bulls go ahead and push the price of Ethereum back up. Although we might trade sideways just a little bit between, I would say, you know, 765 and 790. We may see some sideways movement between that. Just because that's sort of the way that that traders' mental states go. But I would keep an eye on that. If you are an ETH holder, if I was an ETH holder and I had exited the market at any point, you know, up here or had gotten stopped out here, I would go ahead and look at buying back into the market. Now, that is my opinion on it, but I suspect that actually we should see some positive movement now that that SEC hearing has turned out to be false. Now, I know you guys were also curious because I got a lot of people that aren't American, so let's look at ETH BTC. And look at that, it's almost exactly the same, guys. Like, I mean, it's really showing you the same exact movement. Just you're going to be looking in BTC value versus USD value. So yeah, I mean, like I said, if you had gotten out of the market, or if you had gotten stopped out of your position anywhere over the last 24 hours, I would say I would go ahead and look at reacquire, but ETH is one of my long-term holds, and it's one I don't want to miss the bus on. So I mostly just acquire ETH. I kind of ride the waves with that one. I trade in and out of Bitcoin a lot, but a lot of times I just want to keep acquiring more ETH, and I don't swing trade it so much. So anyway, yeah. So that's what's going on with ETH there, and that was my headline RE Ethereum, and we will see what happens. Of course, as I say in just about every stream, it also will a lot depend on what Bitcoin does for overall market sentiment. So we may see movement. We may see downward movement in the price action depending on what Bitcoin does. But I don't know of anything that should be freaking me out in the market for Bitcoin. And so I suspect hopefully we will get back to a bullish direction with Bitcoin. It started to taper off a little bit, but you know, overall we're still well above that long-term downtrend line. So anyway. All right, let's see. Let's take a look. ETH was under 700 earlier. Yeah. If you're a long-term ETH holder, I hope you were able to use your psychological levels to maybe acquire some more ETH on those dips, because that's the Warren Buffett thing, right? Is be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy. So that would have been a perfect case classic example. Even though Warren Buffett hates crypto, his mentality can still be accurately adapted to trading in this space. Okay. XLM. Yeah, let's take a look at Stellar. XLM. This is all. I don't looking at Bitmax. There we go. Bitfinex will do. Whoa. Ooh. Wow. I don't know what this pump was. Boy, if you had a bot on there at midnight, you could have cleaned up on Stellar. I don't know what this giant candle was about. I didn't hear any news. Maybe, hey Mark, maybe you've got some advice for me on that one? Yeah, guys, and you know, this is funny you should say this. Stellar is something I have a pretty good sized bag of, and normally I say I don't touch things with charts with this much indecision, but I guess since I've already got a hold of it and it's already been sitting there, I'll eat my words in this case. Starting to look good though. Look at that on the 2 hour volume. Well, volume's starting to taper off a little bit there. 1 hour. I don't know. Let me see. Let's look on these smaller intervals. 5 minute. Yeah, looks like Stellar's going for a run. So, or at least a little jog. But it looks like it's got a ways to go to come back up to where it had been previously. Why is there no... Let me look at... You know what? I don't want to look at this on Bitfinex. Where is my Bittrex ticker? XLM. Bitcoin on. There we go. Binance. Much better. That's a much better looking chart. Yeah. Yeah, that hurts my feelings a lot less to look at. That looks a lot more like real people are trading it and not some strange bots. Okay, so what do I think? Well, it looks like volume has stayed fairly consistent, and I don't know. It's getting up. It's, what are we looking at? 1 hour candle here. It is starting to get awfully high on the RSI, and the gap here is starting to look pretty good on the histogram. If we go over to the smaller intervals, it doesn't really look like it's cooling off. Maybe. Looks like it's having a hard time making a decision here on the 15 minute. If we go down to the 5, yeah, it does look like it's cooling off on the 5 minute. And again, you know, anything under an hour candle, these things are kind of they don't matter as much as they do on the larger intervals, but again, you can see which way the market's turning more quickly, or at least in the immediate time frame, if you are looking to make a buy or a sell order. Again, I just try to help confirm what the larger intervals are telling me with these smaller intervals, and I would not buy on Stellar right now. Yeah, I would not buy on Stellar right now. It looks like the action might be cooling off a little bit and could go sideways. I would, if it were me and I were looking to buy. I mean, you could maybe take some profit if you had gotten in on any of these little dips over here this morning. Between 7 and 8 a.m. You could maybe take some profit if you wanted to, but yeah, let's look at this. Let's look at this on the 4 hour. Stand by. Let me get my fib up here. Oh, Quintasun, thank you for the retweet, man. Appreciate that. Sorry, guys, I don't. I'm bad about looking over at my phone and seeing the messages on there. Yeah, when I'm doing this, when you guys see me looking up here, I'm looking at the messages from YouTube. So if I'm looking over here, I'm looking at my phone to see what's going on over there. So you'll notice I don't look over here as much, and I apologize, but I promise I'm not trying to ignore you. So be persistent if you have a question and I'm not grabbing you on Twitter. So anyway, yeah, let me get back to what I was doing here. So let's take a look from Stellar, going back to the 25th of April. What? Yeah, I mean, that's definitely in the range that that's definitely in the range I like to buy. Yeah, that would, I mean, this would definitely be, once you've seen a run up like this, I try to wait for a consolidation down to about here, and then that's usually where I'll start picking up. So if I were looking to buy in right now, and again, I don't know if I'd say to do that right yet, because I think we do have some more downward room to go by what the chart is telling me right now. I mean, just look at this. Look at how much volume there is over here, guys. See this? Tons of action. Look how the volume just tapers off, right? Barely any volume over there. So that's not really going to sustain further upward movement. So, you know, if we start to see this volume increase, then that's more money coming in specifically regarding Stellar. But for right now, however, that being said, probably what I would do now, since I do think it has more room to go down, I would actually probably start putting in some buys. This is, and again, guys, I swear I say this every time, but so these are like my bottom fishing plays, right? Is I would start to set my buys right below, because think of it this way, guys. People are going to have their stop losses set somewhere in here, right? After this run up. So if they got in all the way over here and they've been on this run up, and they're waiting for it, they probably set a stop loss somewhere between this 0.618 and somewhere between this 0.236, right? So what I like to do, see, we're already back down into this level. So I would set a buy order here. Oh, and guys, sorry, here, let me move this chat. I tried to move this chat out of the way so you can see. Oh, here, yeah, there we go. I'll leave the chat in and I'll squish my box. There, now you can see the numbers. Great. All right. So see where my little cursor is hovering there? So yeah, this is what I'd say. I would start putting my buys in here, right? Like 40, you know, between 39.90 and 40.54, somewhere there. Again, this is for you to determine what you feel comfortable with. So that would somewhere my first buy would be in between there, and then I'd start to stagger them in, or ladder them in, as we say. You know, anywhere down here. And I would start to set them, because a stop loss hunter can come through and start to, you know, get candles to dip down into here. And so every once in a while, even if it continues in upward momentum, you can end up picking up a little bit. So I would just set some buy orders in. And guys, I like to do this. Again, I'm primarily doing this with fiat and Bitcoin, but I like to do this specific tactic. Just set it in, and then set your buy orders, and then just get away from the computer. And I always do, when I'm doing limit buys, I set a limit buy, and then I set it for a day or an hour, if that's how long I'm going to be sitting in front of my computer. Or, you know, you have to determine this. And then those are my buy orders. So if I don't hit the buy order that day, then I didn't buy any that day. You see what I'm saying? So, but if I did hit, if my buy orders do hit, then great. And, you know, I get to come home with a few extra Satoshis here and there, or whatever. Anyway, Jerry, I did move the chat. I moved the chat so you can see the numbers. So push the chat to the left of the screen. I guess I can do that. Is that better? Is everybody happier now? Now when I'm looking up here, I'm looking at the chat. All right. All right. Let's see. What else? DCR BTC. Sure. Did I finish my point? Anyway, guys. Yeah, like I said. All right, great. I'm going to assume that yes is great for better, and also that I finished my point. But the short version is, guys, yeah, keep in mind where you think people's stop losses might be set, and then pick your buy orders accordingly. And also stick to your guns. Once you've put your buy orders in, stick to that. Don't go, oh geez, everything changed, right? Tomorrow, change your buy orders, or the next, or 3 days later, change your buy orders. Sometimes if my buy orders don't hit, I just sit out with fiat or with BTC that I was going to buy the alt with, and just let it sit there, and I don't do any action for a couple of days, because I would rather, I'd rather still have the moves to make than make a move, have the market change, and then be sidelined when the next time comes around. So that's what I would recommend. Left bottom. All right, let's see. It's gonna start to go away. That's about the best I can do, because now you can still see what coin I'm on, the chart, etc. All right, are we good there? We'll try this for now. I can always change it. The good news is, look how easy it is. All right, great. So let's see, what else? What else? You guys want to maybe compare the 2014 and 2018 BTC charts. It's scary how similar they are up to this point. Yeah, well, it's history repeating, isn't it? Would you say trading fiat BTC is better than trading BTC ETH or BTC BTH for profit? Hassan, for that, I would say it entirely depends on you, right? I mean, that's going to be entirely your decision, right? My goal with this is to become more fiat rich and more Bitcoin rich, right? Ultimately, and also Ethereum at this point. And then there's a few other alts that I like that I want to hold, and hopefully if everything goes blockchain in the future, then I will transact with these things. But right now, I'm of course speculating on them like the rest of you. But I like to trade in and out because. The reason I like to trade in and out of fiat, and why I say I've been trading in and out of fiat to BTC a lot, is because obviously fiat's very stable, and you can use Tether. I don't trust Tether, so I don't use it. I suppose it would be okay for a quick flip, like maybe a couple-hour trade, but just I don't trust Tether in the long run. I don't want to have a big bag of Tether, and so like I would rather have a big bag of BNB coin than Tether personally, just because I like. I trade on Binance, and it's Binance's coin. Tether is not Binance's coin. Tether is not Bitrex's coin. And those, Bitrex, GDAX, and Binance are the exchanges that I trade on. So that's my opinion on it. Is I would rather hold BNB coin than that. But I guess the larger point there is it better to trade in and out of it? I don't know. I mean, because a lot of things are pegged to Bitcoin, so say if you're trading in and out of Bitcoin versus ETH, I think you're going to have not a lot of difference, right? And I think you can't quite say that about the rest of the alt market, but I think specifically when you're talking about Bitcoin ETH or Bitcoin Litecoin, the movements are so similar that I don't know. I'm trading in and out of fiat because US dollars are always worth US dollars, right? So I'm trading into Bitcoin or trading into Ethereum, letting the price action go, then trading back out of my position. And I don't close my entire position. I've got a bag of Bitcoin that I hold. I've got a bag of Ethereum that I hold that are in cold storage that I don't touch. I'm talking about what I trade with. Yeah, I will close out my position to cash or to go fully into BTC or fully out to fiat, but that's just me, and so it all depends. Yeah, it really all depends on the token that you're trading and also your stomach for dealing with the price movement. See, I'm not good at math in my head, so I don't want to have to constantly think Bitcoin is worth this many dollars. Okay, great. And then this alt that I'm trading for is worth this many dollars. Great. And try to justify that in my head. I have an easier time keeping track of what my profits and losses are when I'm relating it to US dollars. But again, that's just because I'm American and I grew up thinking in dollars, right? I'm trying to switch over to a Satoshi mind just like the rest of us. But, in the meantime, I still am valuing it against US dollars because that's what it takes to live where I live. So I hope that answers your question sufficiently. All right, let's see here. If Bitcoin Cash hard forks, do you think it triples the current Satoshis? No. No. If Bitcoin Cash hard forks, I think it's another bullshit Bitcoin fork. I already think Bitcoin Cash is questionable. It's the closest thing to anything that I would even consider bothering with that's not BTC, but I don't fuck with it. Sorry, pardon my French. That's not my thing. I don't. Bitcoin forks. I don't. Literally, only interest I have for them is, does the wallet I already have my cold storage in support it? Can I immediately flip it? Because I don't care what it's worth. It's not. BTC is BTC. That's Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash is Roger Ver's version of what Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper said. Obviously, we know BTC has diverted from that slightly. So I guess it's a possibility, but I don't trade in Bitcoin Cash. I have Bitcoin Cash that I've had since before the fork, and it's worth whatever its equivalent, whatever the equivalent of Bitcoin that I had in my wallet was at that time. And then I think I've bought $100 extra because I wanted it to move some money at one point, and that is all the Bitcoin Cash I've ever bought. So, do I think more Bitcoin? No, I think, in fact, the more Bitcoin forks there are, I think the worse it is for Bitcoin overall, because then everybody starts investing into a bunch of other shit coins that aren't Bitcoin, thinking that they're Bitcoin, and it dilutes the pool and dilutes the amount of people that are investing in the single currency, which is what gives it the value. So I think overall Bitcoin forks are not good. All right. Please move the chat. Yes, maybe left bottom. Awesome, looks good. BNB. Yeah, BNB is fairly stable. And in fact, yeah, I think Sam has spoken about this before, but I feel like Binance is a huge, huge exchange. And I feel like even though their token's not a security, the more people that trade on Binance, the more people that trade on Binance, the more people that will use the BNB coin to reduce their fees to transact on Binance. And so the more people that are holding BNB coin in order to transact with it to reduce their fees, the more the BNB coin is valued at. So I think I would much rather, and I guess even with them having to move from China to Japan to now Malta and whatever else, I think just how much CZ is in the news and how much of a public presence he has, I trust Binance more than I trust most other exchanges. Maybe GDAX more so, but that's about it. And speaking of which, I thought this was pretty humorous. Just another current event topic that I came across today is CZ was slamming all the VCs, saying that ICOs are about 100 times easier than traditional VCs. The gist of the article is he's going out and talking about how most of the VCs that are investing in any of this new tech really have no idea what they're even investing in. They are just looking at numbers on a sheet and hoping hoping that their numbers will play out. And I mean, I guess that's ultimately what investment banking is and venture capital is. But the nice thing about a lot of the crypto space and the ICO money raising, what's the word I'm looking for here? A method of money raising is it's a little bit easier to address and easier to raise funds for your project, even with all the SEC regulation. Yeah, even with having to go through all of the regulation to be registered as a security and all that, it's still going to be less of a headache than going through traditional VC. And then also you still retain a stake of your, all of the stake in your company. You don't sell out a portion to VCs who are then getting some say-so on how you operate your project, when ultimately it's your vision if you've done the ICO. So you don't want to have too many fingers in the pie. Anyway, I just thought that was a funny little topic since we're talking about CZ. Anyway, okay. Cold storage BNB. I don't understand the question, Icon. CZ? What? I did say CZ. What are you talking about? All right. Didn't I say CZ? Maybe I didn't. All right, quant stamp. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at quant stamp on ye old Binance. KuCoin exchange has been buggy and low volume. Bummer. I don't trade on KuCoin. In fact, the only thing that I like about KuCoin is A, they use TradingView charts, and B, I love their revenue share method. I think that's pretty cool that they pay out dividends of their coins over time. I do think that's pretty cool. But I don't trade on KuCoin. So I'm sorry that you're having trouble there. I don't know what else to say. All right, let's see. So QSP, let's have a look-see. What's your go-to indicator? I trade primarily using, well, you can see them on the screen right now, as a matter of fact. So, candles, volume, MACD, and histogram. Same thing, just both different ways of looking at it. And relative strength index. Moving average convergence divergence is what this is, MACD. And the histogram just also speaks to the convergence divergence of the moving averages and the candles. And then also this right here in the background that you can see is the Bollinger Bands. And I use those as well. Those I don't put as much weight on, but anyway. That's it. Store the BNB later for use after the prices keep going up. No. Transact with it now, but don't sell your bags. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. Here's why I say transact with it now, is because I bought a whole bunch of Litecoins specifically for this purpose, right? And this was before Charlie Lee decided to say, if you can't handle Litecoin going back to $3, then you should just sell it all, right? And I was like, $350 a coin, awesome, that's going up good. Like anywhere between like $275 and $350, I was buying it, and I was buying a significant amount of it for me, so that I could use it to move money around. I wanted to trade on Binance, I wanted to trade on Bittrex, and I was trading out of fiat on Coinbase at the time. This was before I was really super savvy with GDAX. And so primarily I would just buy on Coinbase. Anyway, so I got a real good stock of Litecoin, and then all the FUD came out, and look what happened. And so I still have it, and I still primarily use it, again, doing the triple mental calculation, right? Like, what's the BTC value? I want to acquire this coin over on Bittrex or Binance. What's the BTC value? And I can send that much Litecoin over here, and then trade it out into, I don't know, but probably I ought to just send all that Litecoin over to Binance and turn it into BNB coin, because that's probably what I'm using it for anyway. But suffice to say, BNB coin's value is going to continue to rise as people use it to trade on the exchange. So you could hold on to it as a speculative investment, because I think more people will be signing up on Binance. But maybe it's worth using a little bit right now in order to save on some of your transaction fees while you trade. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this quant stamp, huh? All right, and we'll go back to the 25th. Which is, basically about where it originally started to break out. It's at least close to where it originally started to break out and had retraced to. So let's see. Oh, here, let me move this over so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Thanks, man. I'm getting a lot of hearts over on Twitter. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all the love. All right, let's see. Well, I can say again, look, guys, I mean, this is a real good example. This is a really good example of watching how traders' mindsets play out from the low to the high, and look how these candles just tend to line up with these FIB levels. All right, so I'm guessing you're asking me, what do I think the action's going to do? And I see decreasing volume. What are we looking at? 4 hour. I see decreasing volume on the 4 hour. Although that's looking pretty good. Yeah, again, guys, see, look, this is like, oh my God, buy right now. That's on a, or sell rather. It would be a buy if it were down here, but it's on a 5-minute candle. So again, this is why these things are not as useful as they are on the larger time frames. RSI is looking decent, starting to get a little run up. Volume decreasing. I think it can come down a little bit. Yeah, tough to say. I mean, it depends. If this wick were to go a little bit higher, I might change my mind because the lows keep getting higher. But as of right now, I think it probably could come down a little bit. So again, guys, you're you're just going to continue to hear my strategy on this because this is a lot of the way I trade, right? See where these wicks ended? See how they're just below, right? And that's right where the breakout was. This was a resistance point. This became, I guess not really support ever. Excuse me. But this, if you would have had a buy order set here, you would have picked up some, right? So I would say I would be putting my buy orders in somewhere between 2050 and 2038, perhaps, like maybe 1 or 2 there, and then put another 2 down here. So let's say you're doing a quarter of whatever position you want. I would say do 2 of them in this Feb level somewhere. Maybe 1 up here, and then maybe another one closer, and then 1 right under. All depends. All depends on what your strategy is. If you bought in up here, then I'd be looking to set a stop loss right at about 2340 ish, maybe 2320. Is that what you might, if those stop loss hunters are coming through here for this 618 level, if you're a little bit below, all right, you might not get wicked out. 2320, somewhere in there. But I think it looks like it could come down a little bit from where it's at right now. So I would keep an eye on it, but hold off on buy right now. That's what I would say. All right, let's see. Some are saying Bitcoin Cash will be the yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Bitcoin Cash will be the coin of 2018. For sure not. I think it had its year last year, to be honest with you. We'll see. I mean, no one can tell what the future holds, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't think we're gonna see any huge explosion. I don't know anything on the roadmap that should make you think that. Yeah, there's way more. There's way more interesting tech out there that does more than just transfer value, which is, currency is just a transfer of value. So Bitcoin is, I can send you some value, whereas obviously Ethereum, you can start to program the money, and then there's newer ones that are even more impressive with interoperability, etc. So yeah, I don't know what the hype on Bitcoin Cash is. Literally the only thing I like about Bitcoin Cash is that it's closer to Satoshi Nakamoto's original vision for Bitcoin of being digital cash rather than digital gold, which is what BTC has sort of become. Anyway, all right. Same movement on all markets. Started with Monday morning trading in Korea. Everything dumped. That's weird. That's weird. And I actually have another current event that's related to that. I thought this would be good news. Really, is South Korea is easing some of their regulations, which I thought that would be, given that Korea is a pretty big market for cryptocurrency, I would have thought that this would have been generally positive news for market sentiment. But I don't know. Suffice to say, they were talking about banning ICOs, and they've been seeking out a reversal of this ban. I'm sorry, they have banned it, and they're seeking a reversal of this ban. and they were looking at lightening it up. So I thought that would have been good overall for the crypto market. So who knows? We'll have to see what goes on. I mean, it's Monday. Everybody knows the weekends are traditionally pretty slow, and it may have been that the American fear on Ethereum started a little bit of a cascade for the Asian markets, and you know, maybe they overreacted on the rest of their coins as well. All right. DCR. I don't know what that is. What's DCR? And I'm happy to chart it for you. DCR. Decred? Is that it? Yep. All right. Let's take a look. So I'm not going to be able to speak on this project because I have not researched it. Don't know. Can't say don't know. But what I can tell you is what the chart tells me. And not a lot of action here, is there? It looks like a pump and dump group got a hold of it on April 24th. And then again on 5/3. So let me go ahead and throw the Aspen Shredder. Is that a Tikatwari coin? Is that a Palm Beach Confidential coin? Because that's kind of what I'm guessing. Or maybe McAfee tweeted about it this week. That's what that looks like to me with these one huge spikes. I don't know. All right. Well, what do I think? Not including this giant ridiculous candle, because I can't give you reliable TA with this, like with Fibonacci retracements. It just isn't going to be accurate. So we'll ignore that. We'll ignore that. And these are 4-hour candles. Cool. We'll call this the local min. And then we'll just go up to the top wick here. You guys can see when I draw these fibs that I'm always going to the tip of the wicks, which is why I'm letting you know in this example that I'm excluding this wick because that's not regular. So let's see here. I need to get a bigger picture of what this volume looks like, because that's I can't blow it up. Rats. Well, there's no volume ultimately is what that comes down to. There's no volume at all, and it looks like it's dipping pretty hard right now. So let's see, that's on the 4-hour. What do I see on the 4-hour? I see the histogram curling over. I see a hard cup right there. So it looks like this is about to dump to me. 2 indicators there on the 4-hour telling me this. And RSI was kind of high, but not terrible. It's getting right back in the middle, but it does look like it's going to dump off. And the reason I say so is primarily right here. Let's look at the smaller intervals to confirm. Yep, look at that. We've already got a bear cross on the 2-hour. On the 1-hour, it's already well into the bear cross. So what I'm seeing here is, so this is why I say the histogram, right, guys? If you're watching the histogram, you're looking for this cup, right? You're looking for this cup right here when you're going to put in your buy order. So, ideally, you can get in right here. And see how this cup's here? And look at the histogram. You see how it goes all the way down to here, and the next one goes to here, right? Next one goes up. So that started to confirm this cup was happening before these MACD lines started to go back and forth. So that's why I'm looking at this, and that's why I say those use them in conjunction. Yeah. So on the 1-hour, here, look. Let's go back out to the 2-hour. So you can see it started to cup over, and then you can see the histogram is dropping off severely. That's on a 2-hour candle. Oh, look at that. See, it's already showed the cross and is now dipping into the negative territory. And we go to the 1-hour. That's confirmed. And do we think that's going to turn around anytime soon? So, guys, this is why I'm using these smaller intervals. Is now I'm trying to confirm, does this look like it's going to continue its momentum downward? 15-minute says yes. 30-minute says yes. 5-minute, who cares, because those other 2 already did. And yeah, so I think that's got room to come down. See again. Started to come back up, and then again. So I wouldn't buy now. If you bought in and took advantage of that nice parabolic run up that it had there, here, I think you ideally should have taken some profit over here. But if you didn't, you know, I would have looked to take profit somewhere around that 786 fib level. Can you guys see that? Yep. Okay. Yeah, right now, unless you're looking to buy some, you know, again, if you're looking to pick some up, I would hold off and wait for it. We do have some pretty good support historically here at this 0.236 level, which is at about 88,000 sats. So, you know, you could maybe start to ladder in some buys here. But again, if it dips this far, it might completely tank. So I would exercise caution. Yeah, I think that's got more to come down. So, you know, like I said, buy orders down here somewhere below that 8,800 range. I'm sorry. I would, yeah, I'm sorry. Between the 85 and 88, not the 88 and 92 range. All right. I don't know about the project. I can't tell you whether I think it's a good coin or whether I think it has any reason for it to come back up. I'd need to look into it a little bit, but let's see what I can find out. All right. What else? What else? Quantstamp, good. Any low market cap I'm looking to pick up? No, not really. The next thing I'm looking to get into heavy is Monarch, to be honest with you guys. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's something that I would like to have. I would like to have as much of that as possible, because I think that one's got some legs. And I don't just say that because I'm biased, which I am obviously biased. Also, I will tell you this too. I would love to get my hands on some Loki. That's something that I'm interested in because it's a Monero fork. So it's going to, it's aiming to be the Ethereum to Monero's Bitcoin, if you will. And while we're on that subject, yeah, if you want to know more about Loki, we actually just gave out a report to that to the Cryptosomniac Advantage members. Yeah, I've gone through the whole hour without shilling ourselves. Good heavens, guys. So the Cryptosomniac Advantage, you can join us over here at cryptosomniac.com, and you can join for free. So click into the Cryptosomniac Advantage button by that little rocket. You can get in there, and there's an entire report on Loki. There are hundreds of other ones. I know everybody wants to know about ontology, and everybody wants to know about many coins. And we've got thorough, in-depth write-ups in there by our excellent writers. So real big advantage to joining the Cryptosomniac Advantage. The another strong advantage to that is our fine TAs. The full-time TAs that we have in the Moon Lounge. The Moon Lounge is our private Slack channel that you can get into. So if you enjoy sitting here with us and streaming and being able to say, hey, call this, or hey, what do you know about this, and hey, chart this for me. If you would like to have 24/7 access to our team, and that includes myself, Snay, Sam, Jordan, and Amal, as well as a number of other fantastic community members and writers, and not to mention just the other subscribers who are all active cryptocurrency traders and active investors. You know, the best way to get better at something is to do it with people that are better than you, and that is why I like being part of this group, because you know, as good as I am, there's always people that are better, and I love to learn. So I am in a group of people, and iron sharpens iron. So go on over to cryptosomniac.com and sign up for the Advantage. You get a free 14-day trial. What do you got to lose? Seriously, you will find it valuable, and then hopefully you'll find it valuable enough to stick around and subscribe. So check us out, and we'd love to have you, and hopefully we see you in the Moon Lounge. All right, so let's see. BTC. All right, let's see. Coin on Bittrex. Let's have a look-see, shall we? Oof. But that's not looking good, is it? third, fourth, fifth. Yeah, it's out of... So, let's see. 4-5 did this. Shawnee Blades, I'm going to say go ahead and just rewind the stream, and you can find out what I said about BTC and ETH. So yeah, Vertcoin, what I think looks again like a pump and dump group got a hold of this on 4-5 because it pumped significantly and then dumped immediately and has since basically traded sideways. Yeah, if someone wants to confirm to me that they saw this in Palm Beach Confidential or something like that, I would just love to say, yeah, I thought so. It's kind of like when, it's kind of like anytime I hear something totally crazy happening in the news, if it's like way too much, I just assume it's in Florida, and 9 times out of 10, I find out that I was correct. People are crazy in Florida. I don't know what's going on. It's something in the water, I don't know, but Florida's a crazy place. Anyway. Oh yeah, sorry. I thought I might have let the cat out of the bag, which is why I was just gonna go ahead and reel it back on that. So anyway. All right. Well, let's take a look. Again, this breakout is whoopsie. That's not gonna help anybody. Okay. Well. Yeah, the breakout's horse shit, so I'm not gonna include it. I'm going to start from where this breakout happened, but I'm only going to go to the top of what I think is a legitimate buy, not pump and dump. Boy, well, that's all up in my buy range. That's all up in my buy range. But that being said, no, I would. I think you missed your best opportunity. I don't know though. We do still have some bull volume coming in. Let's look at this on the shorter intervals. That's pretty good volume. Excuse me, all things considered. But it looks like we might be going through a double top here. I would wait to see what the next couple candles print here on the 1 hour. Let's see what 30 minutes saying. Oh, look at that. So on the 15 minute, it looks like we are getting some good positive bullish volume in. Histogram's starting to curl up. Again, these are 15 minutes, so not a huge amount of importance to be placed on that, but that's moving in a bullish direction. Hourly bullish. Yeah, I don't know, guys. This might be a good time to go ahead and pick some up. Yeah, if that's one you want to add to the bags, I'd place my buy orders in anywhere between like 25,670 and 26,207. Sure. I'm not super confident that this is going to run, but I'm just looking at what this chart says. I don't know. It's traded. There's a lot of sideways action here, so I don't know. Maybe I'd put my buys. Maybe I'd actually put my buys like 25.7, and just see if you can get some of those bottom fishing plays I'm always talking about. Put a couple of buys in from 25.3 to like 25.8, and just see if any of these, if you can get any of these little, like how this wick came down. You know, you could have picked up some. So that's a play I like to make. And again, it's going to keep you from blowing your wad every time you trade. It's, you know, if you set a few buy orders below what is extremely reasonable, chances are you'll get some of those higher ones to hit, and then the super low ones, well, then you've got that fiat for another day. How do you pull up the volume on TradingView? So if you have a paid account, you can have as many of these indicators as you want. If you have a free account, you may need to 86 some of them, but it'll be under indicators and then built-ins, and it should just be under volume. Yeah, there you go. So indicators up here, indicators, built-ins, scroll down, volume. And then once it's there, you can right click it to hide it or bring it back. You can stack it up or send it all the way back, so you could have it, you know, displayed behind the candles, etc. Yeah, think of it as like, if you do any design work, think of it as like layers in Illustrator or Photoshop. Yeah, Johnny B, that's right. It is like Smash time, guys. If you're enjoying this content, and we sure are enjoying you being here. And God, I love to talk crypto. In case you didn't tell, because I always run on. And thanks, guys. you know, if you're really enjoying the content and you think what we're doing is valuable, and you don't want to go sign up for a free Cryptosomniac Advantage 14-day trial, then at least smash that thumbs up, hit that little bell so that you get notified when we do go live, and subscribe to the channel. And you know, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your mom's friends, tell everybody. We love to have a big party here when we are going over everything. So. We're really glad that you guys are early adopters. We are early adopters, and we're all still really early to the space, guys. So keep helping spread the word about Cryptosomniac and about just cryptocurrency in general, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it, guys. All right, let's see. What else? Oh, Snake tweeted, good, I'm off the hook then. I didn't blow up any spot. That's yes. Monarch token is the Cryptosomniac ICO. So again, like I said, I'm definitely biased, but what it does is incredible. There's literally nothing else that does what it does, and that is, you know, given the exposure we have in the space and seeing all the different things that do exist, a unique product in this industry is getting more and more rare. So I'm pretty excited about it. Anyway, you'll find out more. I don't want to steal any thunder from the team, so I'm just going to sit over here and glow about how cool it is and make you guys excited, wondering what it does, and I'll let Snake tell you. But yes, anyway. All right, what else? Oh, good heavens. Well, speaking of running on the mouth, look at that. It is 7:37, and actually, guys, I gotta go because we've got our weekly Cryptosomniac team meeting here coming up, and I need a few minutes to prep so that I can be effective in my role. So, guys, with that, I am going to say thank you so much for joining me here, and I'm just going to skip the crypto giveaway today because I screwed it up last time, and we gotta wait for Snake to get back on so that we can sort it out right. But yeah, in fact, if you want to do it, go ahead and like us on Facebook, like and share on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, or comment on the YouTube with your ERC20 address, and the next time we go live, we will randomly select a winner to win some free crypto. I still can't seem to get my act together to figure out who the retweets were, and I haven't had a minute to sit down with Snake to figure it out, but I promise I'll get that done. And in the meantime, I think Snake's streaming tomorrow, so somebody's getting some free crypto. Tune in next time to find out who. All right, guys, I got to get out of here, and it's not a UK company, Johnny B, but keep doing that research. I'm telling you, dude, when you find out about this stuff, you're gonna be like, I know what it is. All right, guys. Anyways, I gotta get out of here, but thank you so much. Snake will be on tomorrow. I'll probably be on Wednesday, and we're trying to get back into every day at least. Guys, if you would, I've been considering doing a morning show. I don't know if anybody else can get up in the morning, but I generally will get up a little bit earlier than these boys, so I am here and in the office and ready to go live sometimes before they are awake. And so if a morning show sounds attractive to anybody, shoot me a PM at Cryptosomniac. That is CRYPTOSINEWAVE. You can follow me on Twitter, Cryptosomniac, and stay tuned for more good stuff. Guys, now I'm just rambling. I got to get out of here. Thank you so much. This has been Jason and Cryptosomniac out. Easy, guys.